Hey guys, if you're looking to get a VPN on your Android device and you checked it out, you looked into it, you probably found out that there are just a ton of different VPNs that you can get. And it can be really hard to know which one is the best and which one is right for you. So I did a lot of research and I found what I believe are the 3 best VPNs for Android. They would be this one right here, ExpressVPN, NordVPN, and Surfshark. Now, they're all a bit different. If you want to find out more about them at any time, there will be a lot more useful information and links in the description below. But let's jump into the app itself and see what we're talking about here. So with ExpressVPN, I really like their interface, how clean and nice it is. You have the little map that tells you your IP address, and you also have some information. There's an ad and tracker blocker, so you can see some info about that. You can see how long you've had the VPN on. You can see your protocol, which is basically how the VPN connects to the internet. I'll get into that a little bit more, but basically depending on which one you choose, you'll either have faster speeds or maybe more security. Now, of course, the most important thing is that your connection button is front and center. You have your locations that you can click on right there, and you can see all of the 105 locations that ExpressVPN lets you connect to. And you also have some information about how fast that connection would be. So that's very nice as well. And overall in my testing, I found ExpressVPN to be the one that's the most easy to use. Definitely if you're a beginner, it works great. It can get you access to content from all over the world, whether that's streaming content, gaming, cryptocurrency exchanges, whatever the reason is that you need to make it seem as if you're somewhere else in the world when you're using the internet. ExpressVPN works great. It's very fast and its security is top notch as well. They've actually done the most independent security audits of pretty much any VPN out there. That means they've had outside independent companies come in and check out their systems and ensure that they really are secure. They're not keeping any personal user information on their own servers, and they're not vulnerable to any data leaks or any security risks like that. They've done that just a ton of times. So this is a very privacy focused company, and the app itself is just clean and fun to use. That's really the truth here. You also have a speed test, so you can just see how good your connection is. If we go into the profile, you get more settings. You have the kill switch that will stop the internet if the VPN ever stops working. So it makes sure that you're always connected to the internet together with the VPN. Great if you're torrenting and you want to make sure that you maintain the VPN connection and that security while you're torrenting, or really any file sharing. Split tunneling allows you to choose exactly what the VPN is connected, which apps, so you don't need all the apps on your phone connected to the VPN. You have auto connect. You can choose the protocol over there, and you generally have 2 types of protocols. You have OpenVPN, which is the older, more stable and more reliable one. It'll be available across a lot of networks, but it's not as fast. And then a lot of VPNs will have a WireGuard protocol, which is very fast. Something special about ExpressVPN though is they have their lightweight protocol, which they designed themselves and combines the best of both worlds with OpenVPN and WireGuard. So for example, there are certain features that you can only get with OpenVPN, like obfuscation, which hides the fact that you're even using a VPN. So sites have a harder time detecting or blocking you for using a VPN, and normally that's only available with OpenVPN. Lightweight though has that plus the speed of WireGuard. So it's a great, nice little part of ExpressVPN that a lot of people aren't aware of. Something else here that you get in the app is data breach alerts. So you can use this to see if you've had any of your personal information leaked out over the internet and be notified about it, which is very useful if you want to keep track of that kind of thing and make sure that nobody is stealing your personal information. Now, next up, we have NordVPN. So NordVPN is going to be a bit different than ExpressVPN. You have over here a map interface to be able to choose server locations. And whereas with ExpressVPN, you have 105 locations, NordVPN has quite a bit more with 165. You also have special servers for more specific use cases. You have P2P servers that are optimized for torrenting, Onion over VPN to connect you to the Tor network through the VPN, so that hides the fact that you're even connecting to the Tor network. Obfuscated servers, like I said, those will work to hide the fact that you're using the VPN, but you will need to use the OpenVPN protocol, so that will be slower. Double VPN is going to connect you to the internet through 2 VPN servers, so it'll get you more security, but it will also be slower because you're connecting to 2 different locations. Now with NordVPN, you'll have threat protection, which will block ads and dangerous sites. I forgot to mention, you do have that in ExpressVPN as well. It's called Advanced Protection. They have a very similar feature. And if we keep going here, you have notifications, okay, and then you have just basic settings and information about the different features. You have MeshNet, which allows you to do things like more secure file transfers, that allows you to connect your own devices more securely. Not really part of a VPN. It's just a separate feature, an add-on. You have Dark Web Monitor, which is similar to the data leak thing like I showed you in Express, and you have settings over here. So also we have VPN protocol. You have NordLynx, which is NordVPN's version of WireGuard. So it's fast, but I wouldn't say it's as good as Lightway. You also have NordWhisper, which should get you through firewalls in more restrictive countries like Iran or China, Russia, places like that. And of course, you have OpenVPN. You have some other things here, some useful things like tapjacking protection. So that protects you from any apps that may trick you into tapping them. And you might think that you're tapping on your app that you see on the screen, but really you're tapping on something else. So tapjacking protection secures you against that. You have unsafe Wi-Fi detection. So you have a few different features, kill switch. You have also split tunneling, just like in ExpressVPN. So very similar. The main difference that I would say between NordVPN and ExpressVPN is going to be that NordVPN will just get you so many more connections. You have 165 places to connect to. You have those specialty servers. So overall, very similar, but with NordVPN, you're going to get a bit more connection options. Although the overall connection, in my opinion, is better and more secure with ExpressVPN. Lastly, we have Surfshark. Now, Surfshark, their app is the interface that I don't like the most. Just don't like it. Doesn't seem very pretty to me, but you will get 100 different connections to choose from. You have things like static IP that connects you up to the same IP address every time. Very good if you're using a VPN while connecting to banking sites or financial sites. They do not like to see your IP changing, which is what will happen with the regular connections. So static IP gets around that. Multi-hop is like the double VPN in NordVPN, so it'll connect you up to 2 different locations. Also will get you a slower connection, but a more secure one. Dedicated IP is like static IP. It'll get you the same IP address every time, but instead of sharing it with everybody using Surfshark, it'll be unique to you. So that'll work better towards hiding the fact that you're even using a VPN, because you'll be the only one with that IP address. However, that is an add-on feature. You do have to pay a bit more for it. Now, going into the rest of the app over here, we have antivirus. So this is very nice. Actually, you can do scans of your entire device and see if you've had any vulnerabilities. That's a very nice add-on. Not really part of the VPN, but still good to have. You have the alert feature, which we saw in both ExpressVPN and NordVPN. So this also will monitor and see if any of your personal ID was leaked out over the internet. Alternative ID gives you a different set of credentials to use on the internet to avoid being spammed by marketers and advertisers, things like that. And then we have search, which is an ad-free, tracker-free search engine. So these are all add-ons, not really part of the VPN, but all very useful for some people. Now, something that's a little weird is that you have this products that you can tap over here, and this basically just takes you back to the exact same place we were before. So not really sure what the point of that is. It seems a little bit useless. We also have news, and this also just will give you updates. Not really sure what it's doing, but settings here, this is where it gets interesting. You see, if we go into VPN settings, you have Clean Web that blocks ads trackers and malware. Kill switch also, you have an Android kill switch, which is a more thorough kill switch for an Android device than the regular kill switch. You have protocols as well. Here you have WireGuard and OpenVPN. I already talked about those, but you also have IKEv2, and here you can actually choose between 2 different data encryption methods. The standard that pretty much all 3 of these VPNs are going to use is AES-256, and that is going to be a very strong level of encryption. That's the same one that governments and militaries use, but here you can also choose ChaCha20, which could get you better speeds even if you're on an older device. We also have Bypasser, that's Surfshark's name for split tunneling. And here in the advanced settings, we have probably my favorite feature of Surfshark, which is the override GPS location. Because the thing about using a VPN on your phone is phones naturally give off a lot more data to any place that you connect to, any app, any website about your location. So sometimes using a VPN is not enough because the sites or the apps you're using, they're actually tracking your GPS location. And I personally have had times, specifically with YouTube TV, where they were able to tell my location if I was just using the VPN, but with this override GPS location feature, they were not able to detect my location, and I was able to access content from all over the United States, even if I wasn't in the US. Now, another really nice thing about Surfshark is their price. Surfshark is going to be the cheapest of these 3 VPNs, and you can also put it on an unlimited amount of devices with just one subscription. So while it gives you the least amount of countries to connect to out of these VPNs with 100, it does have some other really nice features, particularly on mobile, that make up for it. So regardless of which one you choose, whether it's Express, Nord, or Surfshark, you can't really go wrong. I would say that ExpressVPN is going to be the best if you're a beginner or if you're looking for something that's just really simple and easy to use. NordVPN is going to be the best if you just want the most amount of countries to connect to, and Surfshark is going to be the most affordable and the best one to go with if you're on a budget. If you want to try any of them out, there will be discount links and more information in the description below. You can also leave me a comment if you have any questions or a different topic that you want me to cover. You can suggest it there. I'm always checking out the comments and I want to hear what you guys have to say. So that's going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next one.